Hey and welcome to this video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. We discuss things like blockchain, cryptocurrencies, various cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin most of all, but of course we also discuss decentralized finance, DeFi, Ethereum, and so on. And this is pretty much a topic we're going to cover today. And we are going to talk about the massively big, huge problem that DeFi is going to face in the upcoming months, maybe in the next year. And I've prepared a small presentation, so I want to dive in there and then discuss those things through and then kind of get a bit of your opinion. What do you think about all this? So let's go into the screen share, talk about decentralized finance, and discuss what the challenges might be. Now, for those that don't really know what decentralized finance is, it's pretty much being your own bank. This is what blockchain allows you to do. So far, most of the use cases have been the very first one, which is store value. In this case, it was Bitcoin with proof of work. We have more and more coins happening that do proof of stake. At the end, this is what my company Cake is doing. If you want to check it out, go to cakedefi.com and have a look. Obviously, we also have payments, traditionally a banking job that DeFi is taking over with the blockchain, and here it's stablecoins. We have centralized stablecoins, decentralized stablecoins, so that's DeFi. And now let's go into the very exciting ones. I mean, lending and borrowing. It's traditionally been done by banks, fintech companies, and now we have all this decentralized lending. MakerDAO, for example. This is also something that we're going to get in with Cake DeFi, so that's going to be quite cool. Then you have all the exchanging and trading, most of it decentralized exchanges, obviously in the DeFi space. And something that we talked about here on the channel as well, tokenization, that's going to be massive for investing. Liechtenstein is kind of trailblazing here, so that's going to be very, very exciting, and I think that's going to be really, really great. And so obviously if you look into this landscape, I mean, it's massive. You have so many different companies kind of going into this space, especially this year. I think I announced many times that one of the reasons I'm so passionate about this kind of sector and entire industry is because it provides so many opportunities. And so obviously, not like only myself, many others see it's very similar. And well, it's been a massive trend. And if you just look at all the funds that are being pushed into this entire space. Now, this is not all the way down until the end of Q3, so this was just until the end of Q2. But so there was close to $120 million in DeFi loans. So massive stuff happening here. And well, it looks everything is rosy and wonderful, but there's something gloomy at the end of the horizon. And the major challenge that DeFi has at the moment is the platform it's running on. The majority of DeFi is running on Ethereum. And I don't think there are other great blockchains out there that it could run on, but there would be some other options to do it. So I don't think there would be better options. I think Ethereum right now is the best option. But so let's look at a couple of challenges that this solution has at the moment. And the biggest one is scaling. And we've heard this so many times already, right? So at the moment, the scaling, and there have been promises on how this can be scaled, and now obviously Ethereum hopes that they're gonna find a good way how to scale that. But if they don't manage that scaling, what's gonna happen is DeFi on Ethereum is just gonna be stuck, and it's gonna stay this little thing that was a really awesome initial use case, but it never managed to scale. And at the end, I mean, this is just way too small. The transactions on Ethereum are maybe 15 to 20 transactions a second, but probably it would need thousands. And yeah, that's the main first problem. Now, there are solutions, don't get me wrong, right? There's Plasma, there's sharding, there's payment channels. I mean, there are possibilities. But the thing is, and you can see the optimistic launch dates, I mean, it has been optimistic about this for I don't know how long. And it just keeps getting delayed because it is a really difficult problem to solve. And it is. And the second one, in my opinion, is security. And at the end, that comes down to all these platforms being Turing complete. And especially with Solidity, a very difficult programming language, I think there are some challenges that many people are actually underestimating. And so far, over $1 billion simply have been lost because of coding errors. And they have been stuck in smart contracts. We had the DAO hack. We had the parity problem. We had so many ongoing problems in all of this. And it comes down to, if on a blockchain you can do anything, well, literally everything is possible. And that is a massive, massive challenge. And so I personally believe, right, and I don't only believe this, we're actually working on something like this. I believe there has to be a blockchain that doesn't look like Ethereum 2.0. So it's not like you're upgrading something and you're trying to integrate so many other new things. No, you're actually building a blockchain that's really specially made for DeFi use cases. And I personally believe such a blockchain should be built on top of Bitcoin. It should be proof of stake. I think that would be the consensus algorithm of the future. And if you kind of combine all those things, what you would have is you would have a really, really highly scalable blockchain that's very specific for all these problems that DeFi wants to solve. And I think they are worth solving. But I think a bit that the challenge here is that, well, you're kind of trying to fit something very specific into this general purpose machine. And this is actually quite difficult. Now, what we've been working on, and this is just a bit of a glimpse in there, we've been working on a very specific DeFi blockchain that allows a variety of crypto-economical financial operations. So all the DeFi operations basically very specified. It has extremely high throughput, and I'm going to show you some details. This is just a bit of a glimpse because I think that this is the problem that DeFi really kind of has to have solved. We don't want to be Turing complete, on the opposite. So we actually go for Turing incomplete, similar to what Bitcoin is, and we're building on top of Bitcoin. The key is to have very, very strong, easy development, not a new language. In our case, it's C++. In the future, probably also Rust, all kinds of things that you can integrate this. Really great governance. I think one of the challenges that, for example, Bitcoin has as a chain itself has been governance. That's why sometimes things move really, really slow. And then obviously you want to have this blockchain to be totally immutable. And that works by us anchoring with Bitcoin. I think that's going to be very interesting. So, I mean, just if we look at scaling, right? So because we're using proof of stake, and it's really native proof of stake, there's no delegated proof of stake, so it's completely decentralized, has a masternode model. But so look at this. So block times, 30 seconds. Block size, 16 megabytes, should be okay in this space. It's not the 1 megabyte that Bitcoin has, for example. I think that's absolutely fine. But then when you go further to the right, what you can see is you look at the maximum transactions per second, max TPS, you're 2,400 a second. So, and that now you're getting into the range that you actually need. If you compare this to Ethereum at the bottom, you're at like 35 transactions, which is like nothing. The average is probably going to be at around 1,000 just with all this throughput. But this is totally possible when you really optimize a blockchain for one specific thing, namely for DeFi, right? And at the end, I think that's what this problem is that should be solved. Now, here's the key thing. We really work closely with Bitcoin. So the DeFi chain is not supposed to be any kind of store of value as in a sense of being money. It should be really used for DeFi transactions. There's not going to be an ICO. It's going to be very, very community driven, just like Bitcoin. For us, this is very, very important. And we're actually quite excited about this. So what we really hope is that by kind of Bitcoin itself, right? If you look at many, many other projects, you look at Rootstock and so on. I mean, all these projects are also building on top of Bitcoin. Very, very important. I think Mimblewimble with privacy can be a side chain. And so this is exactly what we are trying to do here. We're trying to be the side chain to Bitcoin that kind of extends Bitcoin's functionality in Bitcoin around DeFi. And we are really excited about this. And I think if we do this right, DeFi's biggest problem, namely scalability, trust, security, can really be solved. And obviously it's going to happen in the Bitcoin ecosystem, which is at the moment close, not close, but like 70% of the entire crypto ecosystem. So yeah, let me know what you think about all this. We're going to be publishing a couple future research on this. Obviously we're going to open source all this. We're really, really excited about all this. Yeah, I've been working on this for the past couple of months, and it's been quite some work, and it's going to be an ongoing project. So yeah, that's quite cool, and let's see how this kind of turns out. Let me have a brief look into the chat and see. Jakub, hi from Hamburg. Hey, speed and scalability, where do you have the data? The reference is there. I think we're gonna see you in Hamburg anyways. I can show you there as well. Great. So I think with all that, let's keep this short. This is just a bit of an intro. Stay tuned for updates around this topic. I'll post a couple of more things on that. And yeah, I think that's going to be very exciting. So yeah, I hope you like this stuff. If you do, please subscribe, click the like button, and I'll see you at the next video. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.